Two new big hires for the Colts to bring in veteran leadership to be their positional work.
Yes, sir.
That's a lot of work to be done this offseason, improved from 7-9, and the pieces are starting to fall in place, beginning with the coaches. Welcome to a new episode of the BOLD Colts.
Yes.
I'm with Jeremy.
Yo.
And Kendall.
Hello.
As always, before we dive into the Colts coaches and draft, so Phillip Rivers officially a free agent,
Ooh,
as we predicted.
that's right.
What's your percentage the Colts pick him up? Starting with Jeremy.
Interesting. You know, he's a good quarterback. He's one of those guys that you look up to, like Peyton Manning, like Tom Brady. You know, not his high esteem, but he's right there with him on the Eli Manning's draft class back in the day. And, you know, he's exciting if he would come, but it's a short-term, obviously, deal. He's older. You wonder how much he has left in the tank. Watching him over 2019, he had impressive moments. He's definitely, like I said, still upper-tier quarterback in those in that pocket of Big Ben, you know, Eli Manning and all those types of guys. So,
what's your percentage?
Percentage that we grab him?
Yep.
That's the question. You know, I'd give him about a 20% chance we grab him, just because I don't think that the Colts typically are getting older players to play in significant roles for them.
Yeah.
Besides, you know, filling spot here or there, they haven't found, you know, a really good scenario with that happening. So I don't think it's a great idea for Phillip Rivers, and I think the Colts will move on without him.
Yeah, it's a risky move to invest your time into someone that's been in the league for so long and has limited years ahead of him. So you make a lot of good points. I'm going to give him a little bit more. I'm going to say 35% chance that we're going to pick him up. But when it comes down to it, it really all depends on what the end game is for the Colts. You know, are they going to do something and look for someone this year? Are they going to try to find someone like a Phillip Rivers?
And they've taken that
in
approach
the free agency and then try to get someone next year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's so up in the air on what's going to happen. But 35% chance that we'll get
more.
him.
Yeah, good answers. I think Phillip Rivers, I had him at 40%, but I have a 60% chance we're going to draft. So I still do think it's going to be a large chance that we draft a guy. But, 40% chance
But there's
for
that
me,
chance.
so I'm even more than you guys.
There's that chance.
That's just a lot of talk. You know, a lot of talk in Indiana right now is Phillip Rivers. So.
Well, he has all the interesting connections with our coaches, and he is one of those upper tier quarterbacks, and we have an offensive line who can protect him. So there's a lot of intriguing factors to him coming here.
Draft a couple receivers, put a couple weapons on the Colts to help them out.
And
we've
taken that effect before at other positions where we draft somebody and we grab a free agent. So if you're being fair, you know, why not do that at quarterback this year and really shake things up? So I can see the, you know, approach to wanting to do something like that. But probability-wise, I just don't think it's
low probability.
Right. For in my, you know, ideas, I don't think that it's a high chance of happening.
Well, in the way that we've been building the team.
Right.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense. It doesn't fit his scheme. It doesn't fit anything that he's done.
Yeah.
All right. Time to
Next
switch
topic.
it.
Here we go. The coaches.
Next subject.
The coaches are in. And let's take a look at them.
Who are we talking about?
My favorite, number one, is the wide receivers coach, because in the past 2 seasons with Frank Reich, we've been in the bottom of the league of drop passes. Who are some of your favorites, Kendall?
Well, I wouldn't say that I have any favorites. I'm just here to recognize who some of them are.
No, who's some of them that really pique your interest, though?
Well, I mean, they all pique my interest, but Brian Baker, I mean, he seems like he's going to be pretty great.
Kendall's so PC on the podcast.
Great. Brian Baker, he's going to be our defensive line coach. You know, he's got 36 years of coaching experience, 19 in the NFL. Last year, 2019, associate head coach and defensive line coach at Alabama.
Bama.
So he's got got some recognition.
Worked under Saban there.
So, yeah, Nick Saban, great mentor for him, so that's awesome. He's worked with not only some great, staff members, but great players. Let's see.
Mississippi State before that, yeah.
Yeah, Mississippi State before that as the
Another big
defensive line coach,
Yeah.
2016 to 2018.
That's right.
For sure. So let's see. At Alabama last year, his defense was able to hold all the other teams on average to 187 yards passing per game. Pretty good.
No, definitely.
Really good.
Especially when most teams are trying to come back on Alabama by passing.
Yeah. 137.4 rushing yards on average per game. Another good one.
Yeah. That's some big defensive line stats right there, too.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Passing touchdowns, allowing 1.2 per game.
Super stingy.
And 0.7 rushing touchdowns, return touchdowns. Rushing touchdowns, 0.7 per game. So not bad. He had some pretty good stats back in 2018, too. But who's another one that you're looking at? Who do you like?
I like the wide receivers coach, Mike Groh. So like I said, we were bottom of the league the past 2 years with Frank Reich, and just really looking at them, this has got to be a hire that's familiar to Frank Reich just because he's from the Eagles. The past two seasons, he took over Frank's position as offensive coordinator for the Eagles and helped calling plays with Dougie Peterson.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got a lot of experience coming back over here just to be a wide receivers coach, a more decreased role for Mike
20
Groh,
years
but
experience.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's going to
8
come
in the
in here
NFL.
and he's going to definitely have some experience to lay on the table and leadership to look up to. So the Colts were ranked 9th worst last season with 19 drop passes, and that's not good at all. I know Frank's been saying that it's okay. He can live with some drop passes, but we can't do it in the crucial times.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's happened all over the board, so we got to improve our wide receivers, and I think this coach will help a lot with that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's a
great addition.
Great addition.
You want to know
over from
something
the
cool?
Eagles, introduce Mike Groh.
Yeah, want to know something cool? You know what he ended his college career on?
What's that?
Coaching for Alabama.
Oh, yeah. That's cool. Alabama's got it all, man. They
09,
got all the
2011,
ties.
2012.
Oh. Okay.
So
they
two
were
new
still
guys
super
came
good
from
back then.
Alabama.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting. That you know that they've worked in the same kind of field. They know the same kind of routines.
They have the same kind of probably ideas.
Same mentalities, yeah. So it should make for a
Scheme
cohesive
ideas.
coaching staff.
Yeah.
It really should.
Yeah.
Be very interesting. So we also, we got Tyler Boyles. He's another coach that we've got going on. He's the assistant to the head coach now. And Kevin Patullo, he's going to be the team's pass game specialist.
Okay.
And then Parks Frazier as an offensive quality control coach. So on
Passing
behalf of the
game.
BOLD Colts,
Yeah.
we got to say thank you for joining the franchise, and, let's have a good season.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining. Welcome to the team.
Yeah, this is going
Let's
to be
go.
some
Welcome to the team.
cool
You're a
positional
Colt.
hires right here.
You're a Colt.
Next topic, we got the number 10 quarterback draft prospect coming from Jeremy.
Yeah, so we're going to count down the top 10 QB draft prospects. We're going to start at number 10 this week, and then we'll work our way
Number
up to
10.
number 1. So number 10 overall, we're going to be looking into a guy named Kelly Bryant coming in at number 10 on this.
Who the fuck is Kelly Bryant?
Who the fuck? Well, let me tell you. He was actually behind Deshaun Watson and played for Clemson, and then he transferred after Trevor Lawrence emerged and went to Missouri and finished his career there.
Okay. By Clemson.
Deshaun Watson said of him
Trevor
that
Lawrence.
he thought he would be better than him at Clemson.
Wow.
And, so I mean, he has a lot of hype, and a lot of players believed in him. He's got a good attitude, great attitude. He's been through a lot as a guy. He actually had like a softball size abnormal like abscess blocking his intestine and had to have like an emergency surgery
Wow.
when he was a kid, and had a second surgery in high school. It came from like Crohn's disease, but he's had a great attitude through it, and it's made him a really big competitor, and he's really matured through his ways because of that.
Very cool.
Yeah, when you go through something as major as that, especially as a surgery, I mean, you're forced to.
And as a kid, you're
You
wondering
gotta
what's
grow up
going
quick.
on.
You
When
gotta grow
you're a
up quick.
kid, you think you're dying, all that.
Yeah, I
So
can't
that had
even
to be
imagine.
Traumatic.
That's
And,
incredible.
you know, I think he has really good poise. He's a great runner. He's got another gear when he runs. He definitely has that second gear where he can turn on the jets and outspeed a
Really?
lot of people on defense. He has some really cool juke moves.
So
He
you
needs-
think the Colts need to move in that direction then,
I
with a
think
more mobile quarterback?
This is a late round draft pick. This is a fourth or after round draft pick.
okay.
But if you go late, this would be a guy with some developmental traits. He ran a lot of shotgun and did a lot of like options. So he would do the run pass option and
Yeah.
all that. So he's familiar in those techniques, and we run, of course, a lot of that kind of stuff. And he would just add another +1 element when he has that. He's quick. So
Yeah, just another tool.
right, compared to Brissett, he might be able to make a play or two more. And he in 2019 he's 6'4", 220 weight.
6'4",
So-
220.
So he's got great size.
He's a tall guy.
First of all,
Yeah.
he went 62% last year on accuracy for 2,000 yards, 15 TDs, 6 picks.
Okay.
He missed some games with injury. So in Clemson, he went in 2017. He went 67%, 2,600 yards, 13 TDs, 6 picks. But then he ran for another 665
Hey.
yards and 11 touchdowns.
I like that.
So he definitely has that, mobile ability to
Yeah,
where he can
most definitely.
scare a defense in a way, that can really upset them,
Yeah.
especially in today's game. Gets me excited for what he could bring us in if we were to grab, an older veteran quarterback from free agency, or
Mhm.
maybe we take 2 shots in the draft at developmental guys. Maybe this is the only guy we grab and we wait till next year, whatever the route may be, he's my number 10 quarterback. He has room for improvement.
Yeah.
He's not totally clean prospect, but he has a lot of traits that I like and can push the ball in unexpected ways.
Yeah, and guess what? If he's not with the Colts, he's going to land with someone else. So
Right.
it's going to be a name to watch out for sure.
Yeah.
Top 10 draft quarterback.
Yeah.
Right. You never
I
know
like
what he
it.
could develop into, and I think, he could have a really bright future if he gets into the right system and people who believe in him and
Yeah.
have a good system fit for him.
He's someone that we should all keep our eye on. Most
No doubt.
definitely.
No doubt. That's number 10. So we'll move on.
Yeah, let's take a look at the wide receiver 2020 prospects in the draft.
Yeah.
So let's check it out. What you got, Kendall?
Oh, well, because there's a lot of people that I want us to hear about, and I think that you guys have some people that we should hear about before I talk.
All right.
Because these
Very
are
humble
these,
of you.
Well, they're not as highly rated. They're
Yeah.
sitting back a little further, and so they're definitely more late round picks.
Sure. Yep,
Okay.
yep.
If we can't get the guys that I know you guys are going to talk about.
Sure. Yeah, so, I think we would, if I'm rating my top 5 wide receivers who could be available
Yeah.
anywhere from the first round to the top of the second round, so we could grab them with our 13th pick or maybe our 34th pick overall.
There's 2 picks in there to think about because there's not going to be a whole lot of receivers, I think, off the board.
Or, if we go quarterback and trade up to get a wide receiver, if we
Yeah.
go wide receiver, trade up to get a quarterback, whatever the situation is, these guys are the top 5 who will be in reach for us.
Yeah.
So I like Jerry Jeudy. He's
He's your number 1?
He's up there. He's number 1.
Which his highlights were impressive.
Right.
I
and
mean, you guys showed those. I mean, he's phenomenal.
Yeah,
Right.
he's great.
Super good route runner, 77 receptions on the year, 1,163 yards, 10 touchdowns. He had even more touchdowns the year before. I think he had 14.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
More
nice.
yards too, on less
He's a
receptions.
beast.
I mean, he cuts like a knife.
Yeah.
He's quick.
Yeah.
He's quick.
You can understand the
He's
hype
got an
behind
edge.
him. He jukes really well. He does stuff special once he gets the ball in his
Yeah.
hands. He's one of those
You
players
pair
that
someone like
Ballard
him up with
wants.
Ty out there, and it's you have no clue what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
He seems like a Colts guy too. You could see him because he's got the right motivity, like on and off the field.
Mm-hmm.
Just the right.
Which is huge.
personality
Which is
for the
huge for the
Colts.
Colts.
Yeah,
He's
it's
got
So
a
we're
lot
not
of
just gonna take anyone.
exactly.
He's got a lot of things right with him, which makes me think that he'll probably go early. He'll definitely probably be a first round pick, and someone's
yeah.
gonna maybe reach on him.
It'd be interesting if he falls to 13. Yeah,
It'll
but
be interesting if he keeps falling.
Mhm.
You know how far he
Mhm.
falls, just in general. And how far when people start picking wide receivers, because it seems
Yeah,
when
how
one of them
deep is the
go,
wide receiver
they all
picks
start going, and
gonna be this year?
well, there's quite a few.
Well, and that's
There's quite a few
there's options.
deep class. I would say C.D. Lamb definitely next. Oklahoma.
CD Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb.
This guy was kind of overshadowed a little bit by Hollywood Brown last year,
Oh.
but this year he definitely took his full wheels underneath him and went hard. And
that's
CeeDee Lamb's
Antonio's
my
cousin,
guy.
right? Hollywood.
Yeah.
C.D. Lamb, he went for 62 catches, 1,327 yards, 14 touchdowns last year in 2019. He's a little bit taller. He's 1 inch taller than Jerry Jeudy. He also weighs a little less, so I feel like he's a little quicker, but more of a deep threat.
He's a beast.
I think he has the best hands in the draft, whereas Jeudy, he's a more dynamic blocker and route runner.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have T. Higgins coming from Clemson, big school guy. This dude is 6'4", 200 pounds, so he's a big, tall guy.
Yeah.
59 catches, 1,100 yards, and 13 touchdowns in 2019. He's more of a
Super
red
intriguing.
zone threat,
Yeah.
so big, tall guy for that.
Mm-hmm.
Which would be so fun to have on the Colts.
I like the big guys.
The big
Yeah.
guys.
Tall.
Yeah.
They're fun.
Yeah.
Then
You got
next,
the burner and Ty.
Oh,
so
yeah.
get the big guy, and we didn't get to see it with Funches.
I mean, imagine if he
Yeah, we
falls.
need
it
someone like that.
successfully.
We need someone like that.
But yeah, imagine if he falls to the second round too. We could pick
I
him up.
think
with the
Higgins
second
will
pick.
fall. Who's another big guy that won't fall? I think we all know is LSU Justin Jefferson.
Oh yeah, this guy's awesome.
So listen to this. He had no one's talking about him being in the top 3, but
Why?
or in the top 2. They always say Jeudy and CD are above him, but this guy has got to be right in the same category with 111 receptions on the year,
Whoa.
1,540 yards, 18
Ooh.
touchdowns. He's 6'3" too, so he's a beast, and he's
You know what he weighs?
190,
I mean,
close
if
to
you don't,
2.
it's not big.
192.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
somewhere right there.
Yep.
He's
So
a
I
beast.
mean, he's tall.
Straight
He's
beast.
not too big though.
He weighs the
He's
same
not
as
too
he
big.
weighs the
Right.
same as Jeudy.
Okay.
The exact weight. So and
yeah,
he's
just an inch taller.
yeah,
and-
2 inches taller than Jeudy.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I would like to see some.
He's more of a
tall receivers out
speedster.
there.
So he's more the speedster route runner, and he'd be
Mhm.
quick to take off for a deep route.
Yeah.
Chase Claypool, I like is he's out of Notre Dame.
Yeah, I was looking at. Okay, so I
Go
didn't
ahead.
think that you were gonna mention him. Oh, well, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, my good sir. Chase Claypool, yeah, wide receiver out of Notre Dame. He's 6'4", 229, so big boy.
Indiana
And then,
boy.
he's projected second to fourth round. He's sitting a little bit further back.
So someone we could grab later.
He's something that we could grab later
Sneaky.
on. So 2019, he had 66 catches, 13 touchdowns for 1,037 yards. So he's got good size. He's got decent speed on him. He'd be a good threat. He'd
No
be a
doubt.
good threat. He's putting up some good numbers.
He's a tough player, and he catches the ball at a high point. So he's a really
Yeah.
tough player in the game. When you see him, you know he's like one of the strongest players out in the field.
Yeah.
Makes
Great
his
addition.
presence known.
Oh
He
yeah.
would be a great addition.
No, I like that guy. I like that you had him. Who else is another guy you got?
So another guy, and he's kind of opposite of what we've been talking. He's a small guy, 5'11", 195. Jalen Rager. wide receiver out of TCU.
Ooh, okay.
So he only had 43 catches on the year, 5 touchdowns, 611 yards. So not the most
TCO didn't have the best offense. Yeah.
not the most impressive,
Yeah.
but he's fast.
Okay.
He's fast.
The speedster
He's
guy.
projected to do really well on the 40. So it'll be interesting.
What that Kansas City wide receiver roster.
track
Hey
team.
man, speed wins.
Speed kills.
Speed
Very
kills.
interesting.
It's very hard to stop speed. Very hard to stop speed.
And it's really interesting to think with Paris Campbell and Ty where we could be with another speedster, because we'd basically be in that category of, if all 3 of the speedsters are healthy, we're unstoppable, because who do you guard?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
we need that.
No,
We
I got one more guy too.
Oh, who else?
Donovan Peoples-Jones out of Michigan.
Hey, Michigan.
My Michigan team, which I love.
Michigan
Go
fan.
Blue. But 6'2" out of 208 pounds. So he's a big, tall guy. He's more of a route runner, kind of more like Judy. And he caught 34 balls for 438 yards, 6 touchdowns last year. Not that greatest stats. He also returned kicks for him, but Michigan didn't have the best offense last year. And
Yeah, their quarterback wasn't the greatest.
it was Shea Patterson. So
They're still figuring out things.
I
They just
do
switched
think
to a spread offense.
he's gonna be a late round pick, like fourth round. Don't wait on this guy to go to like the 7th round. Like this would be a great pick up in like the 4th, 5th round.
That would be.
Donovan Peoples-Jones. He could return kicks. He can also help out on special teams blocking. So this is a guy. The year before, his stats were a little better. He got 47 catches, 612 in yards, and 8 touchdowns.
Okay.
So he's definitely more the route runner guy. He can catch the ball well.
He's aggressive,
But yeah,
though.
So
he's my last receiver.
I was
down
gonna
below
say,
those
so
guys.
we've got some really good first, second round options, and then we've got some really good
like fourth,
third,
fifth.
4th, 5th,
Yeah,
6th,
no,
late
there's
round
some depth
options.
of like no
Yeah,
names.
there's some good depth.
throughout. Yeah,
I like
the
to
Penn
see
State receiver I want to mention really quick. KJ
that. We got another
Hamler.
one. Man, it's deep.
He's coming out
Deep.
this year.
yeah.
He had 56 receptions for 904 yards, 8 touchdowns. He's known for his speed. I'm telling you, you watch him, he's
Gotta
there.
love the speed.
He gets behind the defense at a few times during the game at least. And when he gets the ball, it's special because he has the speed and he starts juking, and before you know it, it's a touchdown. So you're right. The wide receiver depth this year is very interesting. There's a lot of playmakers.
There's so many playmakers. I mean, can you imagine? Just imagine if C.D. Lamb, say, falls to us at 13.
Hey, and they're all going somewhere.
Imagine if
probably
C.D.
will.
Lamb falls to us at 13, or Judy. Because I mean, if Judy falls, I know we're taking Judy. I mean, if it's Judy between Jordan Love and Judy, we're probably taking Judy.
You think so?
I think so.
I think there's
But you got to go quarterback.
more
don't you?
return. I think there would be more return on that. I think it depends on what quarterback falls to you.
It depends who they love. Yeah, and if they wait for it to fall.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, because I don't think
it would be hard to turn down Judy. I feel you on that, or CeeDee Lamb.
how could
Yeah.
you turn down C.D. Lamb.
But
I mean,
they're
it'd be
bo-
really
I think
hard.
they'll both be there. Realistically, I don't think
You think
anyone
they'll be
will-
in the second?
They'll start going
No.
around the 30s,
I don't think they'll be in the second.
20s.
I think
That's what I think.
we would have to trade up and try to get another either earlier
Mhm.
first round pick or a late first round
To
pick.
make sure you get them for sure. But yeah, no, I think it definitely would be interesting. See where the wideouts go.
Oh yeah.
All right, switching it up once again. This week we are gonna go with something Deaky Winchell brought up to us. He states if we trade up, if
Oh, thanks.
so much this year, why not do it next year and try to grab Trevor Lawrence?
Good
So
point.
We're gonna bring up, we're used to having those number 1 overall quarterbacks here in Indy. So what would it take? I think we all love Trevor Lawrence, who doesn't? But let's go through some scenarios and where he could maybe make the team for us. So, in the past, the Colts have often, traded back and picked up more picks. So let's say they do that again and pick up another second rounder. It seems to be the trend of Ballard whenever he picks. So, we get an extra pick. Some injuries would probably have to happen to us this next year, and we'd have to go 8-8 or worse to really have a shot at grabbing Lawrence next year. We'd have to acquire him through the next year's draft, like the Eagles or like the Rams had to by trading away everything. And it makes it hard. What makes this hard is Frank Reich and Ballard. Because I think without Frank Reich or Ballard, last year, instead of winning 7 games, we would have won 3 games or something if we would have had Chuck Pagano and Grigson still.
Right.
So, I think we're already seeing, hey, just because we don't have Andrew Luck doesn't mean we're going to win 2 games. And so it makes it really tough to grab someone like that, even next year. So I think they're really the keys in this, and I don't know if we'll have the ability to grab someone like that just because our team is improving and because our coaching is so good and because our GM is so much improved. But if it would take something like major injuries to the team, I believe. And, our quarterback's obviously not playing to the ability that we want him to play to, and us trading everything we can to get somebody like that.
It would be one hell of a pick, but
We'd have to trade something valuable, too. You don't
yeah,
just get there on nothing. You'd have to trade a player and your picks.
Mhm.
I think you'd have to give him a pick player, too. Pro Bowl player. So it'd cost a lot, but I think
it's not gonna
that's
be
the
cheap.
scenario where we get Trevor Lawrence. If we could. But it's basically like getting Joe Burrow this year. It's the number 1 draft pick overall. He's a beast. He's had one of the best seasons we've ever seen in college football. What
True.
are you willing to give away this year that you wouldn't be willing to give away next year? He's going number 1 overall. It's going to be hard to snag him from that team.
So you're saying why wait?
I'm just saying that
If you're gonna
this
make
is
that
a
trade,
similar
why not
scenario.
get the guy this year?
Right, and this is a similar scenario, and it's going to cost a lot either way.
yeah, we'll see what happens.
It's going
Not
to be
gonna be
hard to
cheap.
It's a good
snag him
point,
from a
though.
quarterback-hungry team like the Bengals.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence has drawn a lot of hype. He's a great guy. So, thanks for tuning in and thanks for your comments. We
Yeah.
appreciate it. Comment more.
Deaky Winchell, thank you again for jumping in the conversation.
Appreciate it. Jump in at the BOLD Colts at Twitter, or you can comment down below. This is Speedy Ian and Jeremy.
Kendall.
Kendall.
Thanks
as
for
always.
listening,
BOLD
guys.
Colts.
We'll be back to you next week. Get back to you with more news. Hit us up. You guys take it easy out there.
We'll catch you next time.